We got this from the New York Times. ABC News cancels GOP debate after Haley demands Trump appear too. Nikki Haley said she would not agree to more debates unless Donald Trump was on stage with her. Another debate on CNN was in doubt before the New Hampshire primary next week. I think it's funny. There's no primary.
No.
Like this is not a primary, okay? This is something weird. Nikki Haley is not even going to debate Ron DeSantis. Why are either of them running after Trump won with a historic blowout landslide in Iowa? It was a landslide. It was 30 points. That's the biggest ever. I think the past record was 12%.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Trump's going to win. Everybody's wasting their time. However, what do we get from, what was it? I think MSNBC said, I think it was Joy Reid. She's like, Iowa's all white Christians, so they're of course going to swing for Trump. I think they're laying out their plan for Nikki Haley. She is Hillary Clinton. This is the election. The primary is the general. The general is meaningless. We were speculating for a long time about how they're going to get rid of Joe Biden. And I'll say, we were correct. Joe Biden is not their nominee. Nikki Haley is. Well, the election is happening right now. And when the primaries go to California, Illinois, and New York, all of these urban liberals are going to show up as Republicans to vote for Nikki Haley.
Yeah, well, a lot of Democrats have been giving money to Nikki Haley, and we've seen that. We've seen Nikki Haley donors bragging essentially about how Nikki Haley gets all of this Democrat money. And they're all really happy about it. And also you had Joy Reid, who, we like my social media team last night was checking out Joy Reid as well. And she was saying that Joy Reid lost because of racism. So they're
Nikki
already
Haley lost because of racism?
Yeah, because she's a brown lady apparently. So they're already embracing her with their stupid ethos.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a question real quick. Just does Nikki Haley appear on the ballots as Nimrata or Nikki?
I think it's
question.
Nikki.
It's Nikki.
Yeah.
I think one of the interesting things. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I said like a few months ago, I said to a small network, I said, why don't you host the debate? They said the GOP wants like $1 million. I said, what is this, a money making scheme? So the GOP, the National Committee, wants to take a ton of money from the outlets. Then they want the donors to pay. They invite all the donors to sit in. So I feel like this whole thing's just a money-making scheme.
I mean,
that's all it basically is.
This is their biggest money-generating time period, I would assume, an election year. The problem is that basically the system they have built doesn't work in this case. I mean, I was watching CBS last night when they were doing all of the election coverage, and they immediately went into, can you believe that despite all these self-inflicted wounds that Trump has incurred, skipping the debate, he is still managing to win, which, by the way, was completely predicted. I mean,
right.
they do not want him to be the nominee so badly, but it's just at this point impossible to deny. Instead of adapting to the current reality, they're trying to say he is unpredictable and we don't know how this would happen.
The only person that shocked us was Vivek. He rose from 0 to 8, right? He was a wonder kid. He's an amazing spokesperson. But if we all sat here a year ago, the results would have been the same.
Yeah,
it's like we wasted a year and we gave $100 and something million. You could have done so much with that money.
Well, I will say, I mean, I don't know where Nikki is necessarily spending all of her money, but if any of it is going to Republicans, it's kind of funny to hear that Democrats are giving money to Republicans for Republican causes.
I mean, she has spent a ton of money, but it was specifically in Iowa and then in New Hampshire. She hasn't spent very much nationwide. I'll pull the numbers in a second from the ad impact report, but she was trying really hard to have an early victory with Iowa. She didn't succeed. In fact, she didn't even win the race for second place, despite what she said. What did she say? This is clearly a two-person race now.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, I don't think you understand.
Well, she thinks it's a two-person race between her and Biden, right?
But probably not, considering she didn't even make it to second.
I gotta play this clip for you guys. Okay, can we pull this? We can pull this one up. I'd like you to listen to this.
I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
I despise this woman, but this is like an episode of Veep, because as she's saying this, at the bottom of the screen, it shows Trump and DeSantis in the top two positions.
And not her, yeah.
With 95% in.
It's almost like Curb Your Enthusiasm or Veep. She's just so oblivious to the fact that she lost. She's the meme of the guy cheering and spraying the champagne and biting the medal, and then he's in third place. And it's like, you lost, lady.
Somewhere along the line, we started giving out trophies to second place, to third place, to make kids feel good in high school and elementary school. This is like Nikki giving herself a trophy after she lost.
No, to be fair, we do give first, second, and third place because in the Olympics you've got thousands or millions of people. But when the race is literally 4 people, you don't get a medal for coming in bottom 50%.
Technically, it was 5 because as I found out today, Asa Hutchins was in fact there.
He was, yeah.
He got 191 votes and then said, "I'm out." His quote was, "I am driving back to Arkansas."
Did you see though? There was a guy who,
Yeah,
there was
well, he was running a presidential campaign, even though none of us realized
No
it.
one
I
was
feel
aware of
bad
that.
for him.
Did you see there was someone went up to DeSantis the other day and gave him a participation trophy?
I did see that.
It was a nice little viral clip. It was cute.
Well, that's very nice of them.
Wasn't it? Yeah, because I mean that's really all he's going to get in the end.
The thing about
he burned down his career for
Yes,
what?
for what? And you know the thing that drives me nuts is that I feel like he could have been a good candidate and he had such a poor team. His team is spiteful and mean and exclusionary and like
Vivek-
they don't do anything good for him.
When we say that Vivek is running the campaign, we hoped Ron DeSantis would. You look now at Vivek hugging Donald Trump on stage at a rally while they chant VP, and it's like, I'm just imagining Ron is outside at the window looking in with like a single tear rolling down his cheek, like that could be me.
And it's cold. There's the wind chill.
And
But for the
Vivek
great
had more.
Scalia.
Vivek embraced his youth. He embraced the fact that he was, doing all kinds of podcasts. He took the new media route. There were a lot of things that I think DeSantis' team maybe failed to advise him correctly on. And, presenting this young, fresh image was one of them. It seemed to me like he sort of became more buttoned up and closed off as his campaign progressed. And it's difficult to dig yourself
less opportunities.
Right. Whereas Vivek has really presented himself in this beautiful, open, communicative light, which I think is what people want, especially from young candidates. I mean, they are similar ages. They have similar age children, and yet they seem very different.
So different. There was such a cool thing the other day. It was a compare and contrast. You had how Vivek handled a heckler and how DeSantis handled a heckler. And Vivek was like, right, this was amazing.
Vivek always. So on Wednesday when we did this town hall, the Timcast team was like, they come to me and they go, "We asked everyone who's coming to the show to write down a question, and then we're going to go through them and figure out which ones are good." And I'm like, "No, that sounds terrible." I was like, "We don't want to do that. Like, that's like corporate garbage." And they're like, "Yeah, but someone's going to scream something crazy." And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Vivek will say no. He will not accept that. And I was like, I don't think we do that. I think it's good they prepared questions, but we're going to call them at random. And so I told Vivek, "Hey, my team, I don't know what your policy is, but my team had everybody draft questions." He goes, it's my policy to take no screened questions. Let them ask whatever they want. There's viral video of Ron DeSantis throwing people out of his events who said nothing.
Right.
Just because he's scared of who they may be associated with.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There was a guy the other day.
In a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair. And so you had Vivek gets this heckler. The woman starts screaming something about climate change. And he's like, "How about this? I'll make you a deal. I'll hand you the microphone for 60 seconds. You make your case. And then I'll talk about it as well. Yeah, I'll tell you why you're wrong." And it was a great moment. She was confused. She made a terrible case. He was able to trounce it in a second. And then there was a clip of DeSantis dealing with a heckler being like, "No, I'm doing this. I'm doing this." No respect, no consideration at all. Just sort of, like muscling his way past the guy. It was really distasteful.
I want to go back to March of 2021. I think I went to the last fundraiser that Trump hosted for DeSantis. It was at Mar-a-Lago. Somebody got COVID, one of the chefs, so they still went ahead with the fundraiser, but it was closed. It was about 80 people, these colleagues, old colleagues and friends I had from Long Island. They hosted it for DeSantis, March of 2021. So he was just he's still a year to go, running for his second term. I go in there. I'm with my dad. I'm with other friends. I went up to very close to the governor. I'm trying to talk to him. I'm getting nothing out of him. I'm doing my best. I just moved here from New York. It's terrible, the policies. I couldn't get anything out of him that I remember. If you meet the sitting governor, who's doing a great job, I'm trying to get a conversation, and nothing's coming out of him, no personality, which you can remember. What do we have, memories in life? I can't remember talking to the governor because nothing came out of him. Trump is there. He sees my dad. He's at a clear distance. "Is that your dad?" He says, "Get him over here. I want to take some photos and talk to him." That sums up the difference in that little moment in time. And that Trump held his last fundraiser for DeSantis, that sticks out. That kind of sums up the personalities.
I'll tell you the first story I've ever heard of Donald Trump outside of like the media. I was in Chicago and I met this guy who was a music producer, young guy, like, college age music producer. And he said that he was, I think he was doing some kind of delivery when he's going to Trump Tower to drop off a package or something. Donald Trump is coming up behind him as he's walking in, and he holds the door open for Trump and his team as he's walking in, and then he walks in behind him. Trump stops and goes, "Hey kid, thanks," and he throws him an iPod. This is back in the day when iPods were like several $100s and it meant something, but the kid caught it and he was like, whoa, like I held the door open for this guy. I hear stories like that all the time where Trump stops to make sure he leaves you with a positive impact. When I went to Trump Tower during his campaign cycle in 2015, I was with some colleagues and I was like, hey, we're covering Trump's rallies. We're covering Trump. Let's go see what his employees have to say about him. So we decided to get food at the Trump Steakhouse. Asked everybody what they thought of Trump. They love the guy. They love him. He has an ice cream shop downstairs, and I asked him, and the people working there said, Trump will show up randomly and call all the staff out and just hand everyone $100 bills. And everyone's like, we're so excited when Trump comes. He's such a nice guy, shakes everybody's hands, thanks them for their work, and then gives them $100 cash.
To be fair, Tim does this too. We'll just gather around at staff meeting, hands out
Staff meeting, here's money.
No, I'm just kidding. Tim doesn't do that.
No, we play poker. I take the money from you.
Yeah, and Tim gets us like snacks and stuff. It's fine. No, but I think that's true. Trump had that personality, and it stayed true when he was president. I mean, the presidency, I could see potentially you dial it back a little bit. You have to whatever. One of my favorite clips of Trump ever is when he and Melania, my favorite first lady, were handing out Halloween candy, and someone comes up in like a Minions costume, and he like puts this full-size chocolate bar in this kid's head, and he's obviously laughing. Like there was something.
Dude, I gotta pull that clip up.
Please do. It's my one of my favorite Trump clips of all times. There is something, he's brash. There are times you don't like him. Whatever. There is such a personality that is true and authentic there that you kind of laugh along with him.
Last night,
Here we go. Wait,
can
can we just play this real quick? Because it's like
it's the best.
One of the best clips of Trump ever. There's little two Spider-Mans and a unicorn princess.
Melania's like
here comes
the
the minion.
Room mom.
Look at this. The kid's hands.
He can't reach his head.
They both put candy bars on, and then that's amazing. They slide off and fall in a little girl's bag.
And it's Melania who's like, well, I'll give you another one. Like, hold on, don't leave.
Yo, that is one of the best moments
that's
ever.
Really funny.
Look at him.
He like tests it out, make sure it doesn't hurt him.
And then look, it slides off the head and lands right in the girl's bag. Oh no, they fell on the floor. That's why she gives her another one. Then someone comes and picks him up.
Oh my God.
The kid in the
so
Minions
funny.
costume, his arms can't reach above his head.
It's just these small things. Or
Dude,
there's
magical.
another one where he's on the phone. We don't have to play this clip, but they're taking calls from kids around Christmas. And there's one where he's like, wishing he's like, how old are you? 7? Merry Christmas. So do you believe on Santa? That's right on the edge. Like, where are we now? Like, he just has a personality that shines through. And I think so many Americans like that because it's not stiff and formal. I think Ron DeSantis could have a political future. I'm not one to speculate what it could be, but it's sort of embracing that personal connection that people are really craving in this day and age. And it has so much to do with our personal interactions with our neighbors falling apart. To see a president that you can all kind of share these memories with and laugh, like that's something people desperately want. And the politicians that can do that, like Trump, like Vivek, thrive.
I made it. The Heartland proved last night they love a funny, brash fighter, New Yorker, right? And we proved it again last night. And the culture, Hollywood, the media used to love Trump until 3, 4, 9 years ago, until he decided to say, I'm a Republican, I'm running for office. All of a sudden, he wasn't.
Well, he was great for headlines.
Right.
He's still great for headlines.
Still great for headlines,
Yeah.
but it's negative headlines. It used to be all positive. Trump was an icon in New York.
Mm-hmm.
He did so many wonderful things, building the skating rink. He paid for Jesse Jackson's office for the Rainbow Coalition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in the day.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
No.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.